Hey folks, Mike and McGee here. This is a very exciting day for me because the clover's ready. This is the potato patch. I planted this stuff literally in February. That was one of the only months of the year I've never planted crimson clover, except for the summer months. You don't ever do that. That don't work. But we're going the other way. This stuff has already come to full bloom and it's starting to slowly dry down. Full bloom is the peak nitrogen, so I've basically got it at the right time. Fortunately, it stopped raining just at the right time. It's time to get this plowed under. It's not a huge, thick, deep crop. Like this is like a foot. Above the ground is about a foot. So I've got my fingers crossed. I don't have a lot of time. I'd rather not get in here and have to disc it and plow it and then till it and then plant it. I'd rather just plow it, till it, plant it today. So that don't give me much time. I'm gonna get in here. You may not be able to see it on the camera, but I've got the designated rows that the clover's in. Between that's just native grasses and other grass and weeds and whatnot where I will bush hog. The reason being, this is a hillside. If you watch the potato videos last year, you know this hillside held together perfectly because of the way I did it. I'm gonna do it again, except this year with corn instead of potatoes. Got it plowed. Most of them I did 3 strips, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because it's a 2 moldboard plow. Some of them I was running a little tight of space and just did 2 runs, which would be 4. I'm pretty sure it'll still be wide enough to get my tiller in. I want you to look at that. Boy, that is beautiful, and it's falling apart good. So I had just a little tiny bit of trouble when I was making my first run because this stuff, as you know, gets a little slimy when it starts having to be required of traction. But not a big deal. I got it all turned. It turned very well. I tell you what, I planted this stuff 3 months later than I planted the rest of my fields. It still come up good, and it matured 1 month later than the rest of the fields. And to be honest with you, I would rather plow, till, and plant the same day or within a day or two, simply for weed control. This stuff ain't gonna sit here and have weeds coming up. My other fields, my clover matured and I have to get it plowed in a month before I planted my crop. that caused a bunch of weeds to be coming up with root systems already developed. That is not good. So I think I kind of like this. Now I almost have to plant my clover in the fall because I want a deer hunt over it. I guess if I really wanted to, I could disc it up and sow it again in February, January, February. That way I could have a later clover crop coming in. But I doubt I'll go to all that hassle and expense. I just say all that to say, this worked great. I can't wait to get in here and get some corn planted. Let's do it. For the corn seed for this potato patch, I'm going to use something that Mr. Eric Hale sent me. The guy treats me like a king. I'm not sure exactly why. Last year, if you remember, he came with his whole family and we toured this farm. The corn was up about that high. Drop down the comments, tell him to come back. We'd like to have him back again. But anyway, he sent me some glass gem corn. I've seen it. I've never had it. This isn't enough to plant that entire plot, but I have a little bit left in each hopper here from the other mixed corn that he just happened to give me as well. So it's going to be Eric Hale corn one way or another. The glass gem is a small kernel, so it should go for a while. I think there's like 19 rows down there, so we're going to be planting double. So I'm going to pour this in and we'll start planting. Here we go. the seed, and there's only one thing to do, and that's shell some more. Had Joel and the boys bring these over. That's the nice thing about having a boy with a driver's license. He was able to bring them to us, save us a little time. So we're just going to shell these out, and we'll have enough to do it. Beautiful too, I'm telling you, gorgeous. 9 ears of corn they brought. That is going to pretty much plant the last 5 rows we've got left here. There you have it, the potato field. We plowed it, we tilled it, and we planted it all in the same day. That is the way to do it for maximum weed suppression. It's unbelievable how much better it works like this. I used to do it like that every year. The weather had the clover at full bloom early, a month earlier than usual. Therefore, I didn't want to plant my corn early because the cold weather it gets a terrible start. This corn here, being planted the 1st of June, it'll shoot up. Uniform emergence is more important for yield than any other thing, according to some studies that they've done. And that means these things have got to germinate and get out of the ground as close to the same time as possible, all of them. They'll do that in 5 days right here. So this is a fun field. We did potatoes in it last year, and y'all followed me and you enjoyed it. This is going to be a fun field to follow this year. Watching this corn grow. We're going to bush hog between these rows where this high grass is, and we're going to make this thing look pretty. But that's all we got for you today. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.